All right, welcome back. We're about to conclude our conversation here with Sowore, who's running for president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And what happens if you don't win? What are your plans?
I cannot imagine that we will not win this election, and because we've done.
So you're not preparing at all for that outcome, isn't that?
Well, it depends on what is victory for us, and the outcome, in my view, would be total win for all of us, because no matter what we get at the end of this, there is a lot of things that people have learned that cannot be unlearned. There are a lot of things that would have happened that can never be changed ever again.
So this is more a learning curve for you?
It's not a learning curve. Right? That's why let's be very clear. I'm just saying that there are a lot of parameters that's coming into play now. But the ultimate goal is to defeat the old order. And that is no way, that victory is non-negotiable.
Is a coalition still an open possibility for you?
Well, we are open to people who want to join us.
Do you think it's a good idea? I mean, as much as it's a multi-party democracy, and Nigeria there's so many Nigerians, so we should have as many parties as possible. But don't you think 72 is a lot?
Like I'm saying, I have met a few of them, and I have not met more than maybe 7 presidential candidates. I've met presidential candidates who greet me and say, Mr. President, I say, and they introduce themselves as, oh, I'm also running. And I say, which party? They say, don't worry. Because they're absolutely not.
I'd like to know who that is. Go ahead.
Not a few of them. So
have you met Mr. President?
The president of Nigeria?
Yes.
I've never met him before. I turned down an opportunity to meet him in New York in 20, I think after he won, I came to the United Nations.
Why did you turn down?
I just felt that that was not what I'm about. I didn't need to meet him to do what I need to do. I've never met a Nigerian president.
You still don't plan on meeting him if he invites you?
During the handing over, we'll meet. Yes, because he has to hand over to us. And at that time, we'll meet.
Would you be willing to work with his government if he invites you?
No, if I wanted to work with government.
Or any government?
No, if I wanted to work with government, I would have worked with several governments. I've been around for 30 years. I'm not looking for a government position. I've always created my own jobs, and careers.
But you want to help Nigeria, right?
I'm helping Nigeria in a lot of capacity. I've always done what I can to help this country and help myself, because it will sound arrogant if you say you're helping Nigeria as if you are the only person. I'm helping myself. If Nigeria becomes a better country today, I'm doing it for myself, I'm doing it for my children, I'm doing it for my family. So nobody should be going around thinking that you have this messianic, mentality. You're helping Nigeria. What does that mean? You're helping yourself. I want to live in this country in a safe, sound, healthy society. I don't want to live in America anymore, And I know a lot of people who are out there who are tired of living outside.
Do you think that's a disadvantage?
That I stayed in the U.S.? No, I think it's an exposure. And it made me just see the best of all worlds and probably the worst.
You don't think you were out of touch at some point?
No, not at all.
Or too comfortable?
I was the one providing news to people who are here for 12 years. You have to be in touch to be the person breaking news for Nigerians when they are asleep.
On a final note now, before we go, what has been the biggest surprise for you since you started running for president?
It's to understand 3 basic things. One, that Nigeria is not complex, contrary to what they tell you.
It's not complex.
Not complex. Second is that Nigeria is not big, but it's just not integrated. I travel around Nigeria. Most of them we drove by road. The roads are bad, but it's a small place. Nigeria is almost the size of Alaska, and there are 50 states in the U.S. The last thing is that you actually don't need money to win elections in Nigeria if you reach out to people. And that Nigerians are actually not stupid. A lot of people think that, outside of Lagos and Abuja, nobody knows about politics. It's a lie. The people in the hinterland, they understand politics probably better than most people that are on Twitter. But they just haven't had a chance to relate with people who understand their aspirations. And we always talk over people instead of talking with them and talking to them. That's what politicians are wired to do. So, and I find it very interesting that even though they said, there is like division, that we hate ourselves, nobody ever asked me about my religion in Jalingo or Yola or Sokoto. They do their thing, you do that, but we have been divided because it's the only way to conquer us, and they've done a good job at that. So it's amazing because this is the first time that I've traveled to that many places in Nigeria since I was born.
So it's been an eye-opener.
Seriously.
Well, good luck with everything, and thanks a lot for being here today. We'll be following your campaign and your run for office all the way through. Thanks a lot for being here today.
Thank you for bringing me on your show. See you when I become president.
All right, we'll take a break now and be right back. Please don't go away.